Hi everybody, welcome to the Facebook Live of My Kids Drawing, and today we'll be starting with our quilling workshop that is scheduled. So we'll just wait for everybody to join and then we'll start. So we'll just start. Meanwhile, I would like to give you a little introduction about the quilling art. So as you may all know a little bit about it already, that quilling art is basically the art of paper. How we do it is that we have to roll a lot of paper, and that is how we make different things. So in today's session, what we are going to do is we are going to make a lot of like one card we are going to do, but along with that we are going to learn a lot of new techniques. All right, because quilling is a lot about learning techniques, because a lot of it lies in how you tilt your paper or how you paste it. So that also form a major part of this art. So we'll start doing it in next 2 minutes. We'll be starting with our today's session, and I'll be doing it and I'll be starting it from the very basics. I'll be introducing some new tools to you. We'll be doing the basic techniques, and a lot of work is to be going all related to the very basic quilling, because I am assuming that a lot of you are beginners. So that is what we are going to start with. So I think we should start now, and I'll be first introducing you with some basic tools that we use in quilling. So the most important and the most basic tool that you need to have to do this art is this thing, which is called a basic quiller or a quilling needle. So if I zoom in it, then you can see that it has a slight crack in between, but which is very normal, because with usage and in some modern quillers this is how it comes. But even if your quiller does not have that, it's okay, because when you will use it, then it will come out and then you will be able to do it nicely. The next thing that is very must are your quilling strips. Now quilling strips are available in the market, like you see, these are the stripes that we need. This is basically paper that is cut into long stripes. So in case you have them ready and available near you, that is very fine. In case you do not have access to these stripes, what you can do is you can take some colored sheets and just cut them in small and thin stripes like this. Like these are the ready-made stripes that I already have, that I have bought from market, but these are the stripes that I have cut at home. So you can also do that. You just need to cut the paper in thin stripes, and that would be all. So these are the two types of how you can start with your quilling. So these are the two basic materials also. Other than this, what you will need is you will need one Fevicol and one cutter or scissor. That is up to you, whatever you want to use, a cutter or a scissor, but these are the basic materials that you're going to use. Now we will start with the very basic thing, which is a quilling coil. So the coil is a very basic step of all the quilling items that we make. Okay, so I'll tell you how to make it. First of all, what we need to do is we need to take a stripe. See, this is a pink color quilling stripe that I have taken, and now I'll tell you how to make a coil. Also, quilling stripes are available in various sizes in market. Like you can get a 7 mm also, 5 mm also, 10 mm, 3 mm. So whatever size you want to use, that is up to you. There's no problem or selection problem with that. Any size you can use, and all of them pretty much do the same thing when it comes to basics. The selection comes out at the advanced level. When you start doing quilling at advanced level, that is when you need to make sure that you're using the right size. So at this basic level, I would recommend you to use whatever size is available with you. In case you have all the sizes available, I would recommend a 7 mm size, which is this one, because it gives you a nice grip. So I would recommend all of you to use a 7 mm stripe. Now we'll start with the very basic coil. What you have to do is you have to insert this quiller into your quilling strip like this. You have to slowly insert it, and as you can see that this is how it looks. Next, what we'll do is we'll start coiling it, or as you can say in easy language, we'll start rolling it. So once we are rolling our paper stripe and we reach the end, we will get what we call a tight coil. Okay, we call this one a tight coil because as you can see that all the paper has rolled up very nicely. So what we'll do is we'll take it out very gently in our hand and we'll place it on our palm very slowly so that it opens up. Now when it opens up, this is what we call a loose coil. Okay. So the one that was formed earlier was called a tight coil and this one is called a loose coil. This is the stage where we take the Fevicol and paste our coil and secure the ends. So you see, this is how a perfect coil should look like, where a lot of paper should be visible in the center, which should be tightly coiled, but towards the outside part or the boundaries, whatever you would like to call that, it should be a little bit opened up. So this is how a perfect coil should look like. In case your coil does not look like this, that means you really need some practice with that. So for one flower, we generally need 4 to 5 coils. So I'll just show you how to make a flower with that. So for that, I'll be making different petals of the coil. So this is one petal that I've already made. Now I'm going to make another loose coil in the same way that I have made this one. So in case you missed out on the first one, you can re-watch it here. And as I said, for one flower, we need approximately 5 to 6 coils. So one we have already done. Second one I am just doing. As you can see, I am done with my second coil as well. So quilling art is a lot about practice. In case you have practiced well, in case you are doing it from a long time, you will be able to do it with very much neatness also and very quickly also. Like you see, since I have been doing it from quite a lot of time, it's easy and it's quick for me. But when you will be doing it for the first time, it might not be that easy for you, or you might feel that this is a lot of work to do, or you're not able to do it very swiftly. That is okay, because with practice you will be able to do it very nicely. One thing about this art is what I would like to say is that colors matter a lot here. The color combinations are very much important in how your overall piece will look like. So please make sure that whatever colors you're using, they're nice, bright and pretty. See, if your colors are not nice, then your overall like whatever item you are doing is also not going to look very fine. But in case your colors are nice, then your overall item will look good. Now as you can see, for the flower I am taking pink shade. Now suppose if I will be making it in a brown shade, it would not look as nice as it should. So the color combinations and color selections are also very important. So as you can see, I have made the fourth coil also. So now I'm working on the last one, that is my fifth coil. So now I'll be working on my fifth coil like this. As I already said that we need approximately 5 to 6 coils for one flower. So I'll be working here with 5 coils. If you want, you can use 6 also. So now you see I'm working on my fifth coil. The other thing which is very important is neatness here. So you need to make sure that all your work is neat and clean, and then only your coils will also look nice. So as you can see, I have made 5 coils in one color, which is my pink color. Now I'll be telling you how to make a flower of them. For that, we will be using different shapes that I'll tell you how to make them. Alright, so in order to make the first shape, which is also the basic shape, is a teardrop shape. Alright, so this one is the loose coil, as I have already told you. What we need to do is, we need to just hold it from one side and pinch it like this. I'll show you how to do it. See, I have put it on my palm. Now what I'm going to do is, I am going to take it and pinch it from one side like this, so that a teardrop shape is formed. You see, this is also a very basic shape, and it should look like this, that the borders should be separately visible and the inside coils should be separately visible. Now this might look easy, but the perfection is hard to attain. So the only key to get that is to practice a lot. Like you see, I'll show you once again. I've just put the coil on my palm, and next what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch it like this so that a teardrop shape is formed. I'm going to do this with all my loose coils so that we have 5 teardrop shapes like this. So you see, now I have 5 shapes which I call the teardrop shapes. Now what do we need to do to make them in a flower? In order to do that, we have two options. Like from this one teardrop shape, we can make two types of flower. One of them is the basic flower where the petals are pasted towards inside like this. Like you see, when we paste them like this, then our flower would be ready where all the petals are pasted towards inside. Now what do we do is, the other thing that we can do to make a flower is to paste them, the thin part of the petals towards outside, so that a different kind of a flower is formed. Now you see, this is an entirely different kind of a flower. So first I'll paste it by putting the thinner part inside. So you see, I am applying some Fevicol on both the sides of the petals and I'll be pasting them like this. Again, the use of Fevicol is very important. If you are going to put a lot of Fevicol, then your work will not be neat, because a lot of Fevicol is going to leave a lot of black marks also, which is going to ultimately spoil your work. So as you can see, I am not putting a lot of Fevicol. I am only putting a little required amount so that it is nice and it sticks properly also. So not too much, not too less. You just need to find the balance between both of them and apply the right amount of Fevicol so that your nice pink flower is ready. So this was the first flower that we have made. This was the very basic flower of quilling, but it looks pretty as well at the same time. So this was the first flower. Now for the center part of our flower, what we are going to do is we are going to take another color. Let's say I'm taking a dark blue color here, and we are going to make a tight coil of it. As you may already remember, how do we make a tight coil? We just roll the paper like this. We keep on rolling the paper, and this is where our tight coil is made. So now what we will do is we will paste it right here by applying some Fevicol, and then after pasting it, now we will take it out. So for the loose coil, what we did was we first took it out of our quiller and then we pasted it. For this one, what we are doing is we have first pasted our coil and now we will take it out from our quiller so that a nice tight coil is made. Okay, so this is how a nice coil looks like. What do we do with this coil? We simply paste it in the middle of our flower so that the center is also formed and it looks nice and pretty. So I'll just apply some Fevicol to this like this, and I'll paste it in the center so that our first flower is ready. I'll show you some different variations of this flower that I have already made. As you can see that I have this little blue flower with an orange center already made with me. I already have a green flower also. As you can see that I have made this flower in a different variation, as I already told you. But the center part of this flower is missing. So we will quickly make one more tight coil of any color, but here I am going to use this light pink color. So as I have already told you, what do we do to make the center? We make a tight coil. So I am quickly making a tight coil so that I can put in the center of this green flower. Apart from putting the tight coil in the center, instead of one coil, you can use two coils as well. Like you see, if I place one coil, It is going to look like this in the center of the green flower. Apart from that, what I can do is I can also put it on the top of my blue coil so that a 3D image of the center is formed. So you see, these are the different creative versions of the flowers that you have to do yourself. I am going to teach you all the basics, all the techniques of how to do it, but the ultimate creativity lies in your hands. Next, it is going to be up to you how you decide to design it and do it nicely and creatively. Like you see, I have this another tight coil which I can place here, though it looks a little bit same, but these are the different variations that I'm trying to tell you that you can do. Like on the top of the blue one, I can again put one more red one so that one more 3D image is ready with us, right? So this was the first type of the flowers that we can use and we will be using in our card making. Now I'm going to tell you one more variation of the flowers, like one more type of flowers that we can create. For that, again, see, the first step of all the flowers and everything is going to be to make the coil. Okay, so for that, what we are going to do is, I have taken this dark blue stripe again, and what I'm going to do is, I am going to again make some loose coils out of this. As I said, that coils are the most basic element of all our quilling art. So for anything that we want to do, we have to first create this loose coil. For those who have joined late, I will once again tell you how to make a loose coil. Let me just paste this one, and again I'll just go through the process of making a loose coil. So till the time my other coil is drying up, what we have to do is we have to take a quilling stripe and a quilling needle. We will simply insert our quilling needle in our quilling stripe and start rolling it like this so that we can simply create what we call a tight coil. After creating a tight coil, what we do is we remove our quiller and we put it on our palm and open it nicely so that this kind of structure is formed, which is very dense in the center but is loose at the corners. This is what we call a loose coil, and this is a basic essential item, or I would say technique, for all our quilling methods. So this is what we need to do. This is how a pasted loose coil looks like. We have just applied some Fevicol at the ends so that it is pasted properly. You may need to hold it for some time so that it does not come off. So now for the first type we have already done. Now we are making some loose coils for our second type of the flowers. So I have already made 2 loose coils. Now I'm working on my third one so that I can show you how we can create different flowers. So for these flowers, as I told you that for each and every flower, what we need is we need 5 to 6 loose coils, right? So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a variation of double colored flowers. So in those flowers, what do is we make 3 coils of one color and other 3 coils of the other color. For example, I have made these 3 coils in dark blue color. Now I am going to make other 3 coils in any other color. Let's say white color. So I have already done first, second, and one more coil is there which is just drying up. So I have already done 3 coils in blue color. Now what I am doing is I have taken this white stripes, and what I will do is so I'll take a different color for your better visibility. So I'll take this gray stripes, 3 of them, and I'm going to make 3 loose coils of this gray color now. What I'm repeating, what I'm doing. What I did was, now I'm working on double colored flower. For that, what we have done is, we have made 3 loose coils of dark blue color, and now I am making 3 loose coils of grey color. So I have already done the dark blue coils. Now I am working on my gray coils. So as you can see that first of my gray coil is ready. I'll move on to my next one. We are going to make 3 gray coils and 3 blue coils. To put it in non-colored words, we are going to make 3 coils of our first color, which can be any color, and we are going to make 3 coils of our other color, which is going to be our second color. Now, as I was already talking about the color combinations, it is very important here also that you choose the right color combinations. In case you choose for say dark blue and dark red here, it is not going to look as pretty as we want it to, because you see the combination is not that nice. So you need to get very imaginative and creative about your color combinations as well. You need to make sure that all the combinations that you are making or whatever you are thinking about should look nice in your head first. You should be able to think about them thoroughly, and then only you should start working upon them. For I believe that there is a famous saying that if you can't form a vision of it, you'll not be able to achieve it. So you should be able to visualize it well in your mind. Think about it like how the final product you want, and then only start working upon it. So my third coil is also ready. So now as you can see, for my next flower, what I have is, I have 3 coils of dark blue color and I have 3 coils of gray color. Now the first shape that we did was the teardrop shape, which was pretty simple for you all, I believe, and we have made some flowers with that. Now the next shape that I'll be working upon is my blue and gray flower. For that, what we will do is, we will simply take the coil, pinch it from one side so that our normal teardrop shape is formed. Now after forming the teardrop shape, what we will do is, we will pinch it from the other side as well, like this, so that we get one eye shape. This is the difference in the two shapes that we have already done. I'll explain it to you again. When we take a coil and pinch it from one side, it becomes a teardrop shape, as I have already made, and we have already done a flower with that. When we take this teardrop shape and pinch it from the other side, from here, the opposite side as well, like this, we get an eye shape. Okay, this is EYE, eye shape. So this is what our next basic shape is all about, where we pinch our coil from both the ends so that we can get perfect eye shapes like this. So we are going to do this with all our loose coils, which are 3 of them in blue color and 3 of them in gray color, like this. So as you can see, now I have 6 eye-shaped coils. So this is how you need to work upon working on the shapes. I'll take a minute to revise everything with you. Ready? Now what we will do is, we will start making the flowers out of it. Now for the flowers, what we will do is, we will simply arrange them one by one. That is, one petal of blue color and one petal of gray color. One petal of blue color and the other petal of gray color, like this. We'll put one blue here. So when you arrange them nicely, you see that a big blue-gray flower is formed. Now again, what we need to do is, we need to put some Fevicol and paste them nicely. So I am putting the Fevicol on the tips of all the petals. While you are pasting the flowers, please make sure that you don't paste them on the surface that you are working upon, because then in case you do that, both the things, the surface as well as your flower will be ruined. So the only way to not do that is to make sure that you're applying very little Fevicol. Not very much Fevicol is used, not excessive Fevicol as I would like to call it, and that you are working very carefully, so that you apply Fevicol only on the petals and not on the surface. So this is how you apply Fevicol on the each and every part of the flower, and paste them very carefully and nicely to make one more type of flower, which we call is the eye shaped flower. Okay, so here are the two shapes that we have already done, three as I would like to call them. One was our basic quilling shape, which is the basic light coil or the loose coil as we say, which is the very much foundation of all the quilling items that we do. The next step that we have done is our teardrop shape, which we have already used in making our flower. The third one is the eye shape, which we have used in double colors, which is the blue shade and the gray shade, and it is drying right now, so I'll try not to move it that much, so that our three shapes are done. Now about this double color thing, you can do this in any kind of shape as you want. You can do this double thing in your eye shape also. That is going to be your choice ultimately. So you can do this in as many ways as you want. You can do, if you want, you can make all the petals in different colors also. Now for the center of this flower again, what we'll do is we'll take a tight coil, like I have this pink one made with me already, and we'll paste it in the center so that our flower is completed. So till now what we have done is we have learned how to make the flowers. For that we have learned the eye shape as well as the basic teardrop shape. Now for the card, as you may already have seen in the picture as well, what we need is we need some flowers as well as we need some of the leaves and stems as well, because we are going to make it look like a chain of flowers. So we'll keep our flowers at a side and leave them to dry while I tell you how to make the leaves and the stems. So making of stems is very tricky at the same time, but it looks really pretty as well. So what we will do is we will take a green stripe, because obviously for leaves and the stems we prefer to use a green stripe. You can use any other color of your choice as well, but again it goes on to your creativity and your imagination what color you want to use. Now I'm teaching you how to make a stem. In order to make a stem, what you need to do is, first of all, you need to make a loose coil but not paste it. Okay, we need to make one open-ended loose coil. Like you see, I have rolled all my paper here, green paper, and I'll take it out from my quiller. I will loosen it a little bit like this so that a loose coil is formed, but I am not going to paste it. I am going to leave it like this only. How it will be formed into a stem, that we'll see. But first of all, let's leave it till here only. Now, for the leaves, what we need is, once again, we will be needed some green paper, because of course, we are going to make the leaves in green color only. So first of all, for this leaves also, we will be making a loose coil. So as you can see, I have some green shade here, and again I am starting to make a loose coil here. So I'll just roll my paper and I'll make a loose coil like this. Now comparatively, this is a smaller piece of paper, which again is your choice. If you want, you can use a full stripe as well. And before pasting this, what I'm going to do is, I have not pasted this coil as well. As you can see, this is an open-ended coil also. So I've not pasted this coil. In order to make a leaf, what we do is, first we pinch it from one side to form what we call a teardrop shape. Next, we pinch it from the other side as well, like this, and twist them a little bit so that a very tiny leaf is formed. I'll try to show you. This is how we want our leaf to look like. It should be very tiny, very small, but it should be twisted perfectly so that it gives an S shape kind of a structure, and all the inside coils should be visible very, very nicely. Now I'm going to paste it. So you see, pasting is going to be the very last step of leaf making. In case you have not understood, I'll repeat this leaf making process once again like this. What we are doing is, first of all, we are taking some green paper like this, and we are making a loose coil like this. Next up, what we do is, we open the loose coil, we pinch it from one side to make a teardrop shape, and then we pinch it from the other side and twist it to make an S-shaped leaf. Now in the end we are going to paste it. Like you see, now I am pasting it so that our S-shaped leaf is formed. So this is how we make a leaf. Teeny tiny leaves are formed so that they look nice and pretty. Also, you can make them in different colors. As you can see that I have made one in light green and one in dark green. So you can make them in different colors, different sizes. It is all again subjected to your creativity and your imagination as how you want to do it. So I have made some other leaves also that I am just putting here so that you all can see. I have already made some other leaves as well. As you can see, all of them are very small and nicely shaped, because it is very important for them to be nicely shaped, otherwise they don't look as well as they should. So these are the different leaves that I have made, and some of them are not pasted yet because we'll be pasting them while we'll be doing it. Now what we are doing is, we are now compiling them so as to make a complete card. Now what I have taken is, I have taken a plain sheet of card, as you can see, and I have folded it so that we start assembling it to make shape of a card. So first of all, what we are going to do is, we are going to make a little bit of base of our card. So for that, again, what I am doing is, I am going to take some broad stripes or any other color of sheet is what I mean to say, and I am going to paste it vertically on my paper. So as you can see, this is the base of my sheet. So what I am going to do is, I am going to paste this stripe vertically on the piece of my paper so that it forms a nice base of our card like this. So as you can see, I have pasted this here. In the same way, what we are going to do is, we are going to paste some paper horizontally as well. So at the cover page of our card, what I have done is, I have pasted some paper in the vertical manner, as you can see, in the longer edge of our sheet, and I am going to paste some stripes at the horizontal end of our sheet as well, so that we make a nice base for our quilling flowers. So I'll now simply apply some Fevicol here like this, so that we make the horizontal base as well. You can use any color of your choice here. You can use 2-3 stripes as well. All this again is subjected to your own creativity. Now the very last part of our card is left, where what we have to do is, we have to simply paste all our flowers in a nice way so that our card making will be completed. Now again, you just can't paste them anywhere. You need to make sure that you are pasting them in a line or in a particular format so that they look nice. Now as you can see, what I am doing is, on the longer edge, I have pasted them in a line, and I'm going to leave my shorter edge as it is, because we are going to paste some of our flowers and other things here. So I'll clean up the desk so that you can view it more better. So as you can see on the longer edge, what I have done is I have placed all my flowers one by one. One big and one small is the pattern of how I'm doing it. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to paste all the flowers. Before that, I'll show you what we are going to do on the shorter edge. So for the shorter edge, as you all may remember, I have already told you how we make a stem, right? This was the stem that I told you that we'll be making. So what we do is we just put it on the shorter edge of our paper and hold the coil with one of our hand and stretch the other part and paste it with the flower like this, so that our stem is formed. See? Now I'll be pasting it so that you can view it much better. What I'll do is I'll simply apply some Fevicol on the base. Like here I have applied some Fevicol, and I'll put my coil over here so that it gets pasted. Now for the longer edge, what I'm going to do is, again I am going to apply some Fevicol on the longer edge of my flower, and I will stretch it and paste it with my flower so that it looks like a nice stem for my flower. So you see, on the longer edge we have all the flowers, and on the broader edge what we are going to do is we are going to place a lot of leaves and stem which is already there. So now on the shorter edge what we can do is we can place a lot of leaves that we have already made. You can place them in different formats. As you can see, I am also twisting and turning them to see what design looks good. I would like to repeat that all the quilling items are subjected to your own creativity and imagination that you can use to create wonderful projects. So as you can see, on the longer edge I have made a stem, and on the shorter edge I am going to create a lot of other materials. Now this was what all I have taught you till now. For the extra decoration, what you will do is you can create more flowers and small items that look really nice. For example, as you can see, I have these very little flowers with me. They are not very big and they are in dark colors. So what you can do is you can paste them at different places so that they look really nice like this. Like you see, I have a golden flower here which completes the shorter edge. And next I have this black flower which is very little, so I can just put it here in between my two flowers so that these little things can fill the gaps which are somewhat created in our whole line. So in order to fill the gaps, what we do is we make use of the shorter or the smaller items so that everything looks as one whole piece. I have some more little flowers that I'm using here so that this looks like a complete bunch of items and it looks nice as well. I have some little roll-ups also. As you can see, what we can do is we can just place them somewhere on our sheet so that they looks like nice little buds that are embedded in our floral bouquet that we have created. So you see, this is the final outcome of our card. What you can do is, for better things, you can write some quote here. You can write whatever you want to, any quote, any best wishes kind of a thing, whatever you would like. So this is what you need to do in order to make your piece looks nice and beautiful. You need to make sure that all your colors are in a coordinated manner. You need to make sure that nothing is out of sync. You need to make sure that all your items are neat, pretty, and they look good as a whole as well. So this was one thing that we did today as a part of our quilling workshop. But what I can say is that this is not all. See, when it comes to craft or any kind of art, we all know that they are infinite. There's nothing that closes it down, and there's nothing that we can say, okay, this is the end of it. There's nothing more we can do to it. There's always a lot of things, and I would say numerous things that you can do to any piece, any art. So there's nothing that can be completed. Thank you so much, Anita Jaiswal. Thank you so much for the compliment. So there's nothing that can be completed in one go or in one session itself. So what we'll do is we'll now be showing certain things that are a different level of quilling, or as we can say that those are the different things that we can also do. So first up, which is very trending right now, is quilling jewelry. So I would like to show you some examples or some samples of what quilling jewelry looks like. So as you can see that this is a quilling earring. Now this is completely wearable. As you can see, it has the loop and it is completely safe as well because it has been waterproofed, and making it is not very hard. Like in one go, in 1 hour, if you know the right technique, you can make it in 1 hour even. But again, what we need to do is we need to practice and we need to understand the right techniques of doing things. For some more, as I can show you that this is another, again, quilling jewelry itself. It is another quilling earring that we have already done or already made. So these are the different things that you can do, and there's no end to it. There is no end to how we can make them. This is another one that we have already made. It goes like this. So this is how we can make different things. One more thing that is included in this is 3D quilling, as we call it. So I like to show you one thing that we did as a part of our workshop itself, which is known as a quilling Santa. As you can see that it is a complete 3D piece and it can even stand up. Like right now it won't be because the platform is not empty and smooth. But this is a complete 3D item made of paper itself. There's nothing used in it except for paper and Fevicol. So as I was saying that this is an infinite thing. It is an infinite art. We can do as many things as we can, and like there's no end to the creativity. As I said, you can do as much as you want, and it is not limited to smaller items only. We can do as much big items as well as we want. We have done, like in other sessions as well, we have done big things, even like some paintings even. So like you see, this is a big flower or a table coaster kind of a thing which is still in process, but this is how it is made. And for the big things also, we can do what I would call them is a wall size paintings as well. But those are some advanced level things that we need to do whenever we have more time and we are more proficient with this. So to close this, what I would like to tell you all is that we have done this card today, but this is not what it is all about only. We have a lot more to do. For that we'll be doing that in coming session. Of course, my kids drawing is going to give you all the information about that. I hope all of you are connected to their to our Facebook page as well as our WhatsApp groups as well. So all the other informations will be posted there. What I would like to tell you all is that this was a very limited interaction session because this was conducted here on a social media platform. But when we do our workshops, they are more interactive because all of you are doing them along with me. We are not doing it, is never like I am doing and you all have to watch. When we do the sessions, it's always like that you have to do it along with me so that I can see what all you are doing and we can correct the mistakes as well. And it also leads to generation of new ideas, because see, when we are working closely, what happens is there are many ideas that you guys get which might be new to me as well. So what we need to do is we need to understand that the art is infinite, and hence the best we can do is come together and work as one so that we can create wonderful things. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the compliment. So we'll close it for now, and what I would say is that we have a lot more to do. We have many more things, from jewelries to 3D items to I would say we can even make god idols with this. Like, it is just paper, but it is not just paper. It has a lot more to do, and I hope we all will be able to do that in the coming sessions as we all go along. You all will be getting all the information about all the quilling sessions through this page only, and the WhatsApp group as well. So I hope we'll all stay connected, and I'll see you in future sessions as well. So when and where, this question you'll get all the information on the page only. I'm sure they'll be posting everything about the sessions in this page as well, so don't worry about that. I am sure we'll be meeting soon again, and we will be so Payal, you will get all the information on the page as well. I am sure that the authors will be soon posting all the information, so you will get that. Don't worry about that. You can always contact the page owners for all the information, and definitely we'll be meeting again and we'll do further sessions. So don't worry about that. We'll make a lot of things. We'll be working about jewelries, we'll be working for the 3D items. Apart from that, we'll be making paintings, peacocks. Again, I would repeat myself, I know it's just paper, but it is not just paper. We'll learn all the practical aspects as well. Nothing will be wasted for you guys. Even if you are making one earring, we will be making it completely waterproof, so that we can just wear it. You want to wear it, you can wear it, and nothing will get damaged. So with this, I would like to end this session for now. As I said, you all will get all the information on the page itself. I am sure the page owners will help you out with that. We'll plan further sessions, we'll meet again. And one thing I would like to promise you is that when we meet again, we'll be more interactive. You guys will also be making it along with me, and we will do it. Yes, I am excited for that too. Thank you so much for this response, and I'm really glad to be a part of this here. So I'll sign off now. Thank you everyone. This was Srishti Aaron before you all. I had a great time, and I hope that all of you will also enjoy it a lot. So we'll see you again. We'll meet here on this platform itself. We'll post all the information regarding further sessions, and we'll make to create some amazing art for you all. Thank you everybody. Have a great day.